This demonstration gives you a preview of the types of attention training activities used in the Attention Process Training 3 program. We've chosen a range of activities that range from easy to hard. We varied the pace from slow to fast, and we've included both visual and auditory activities. You can design and customize your attention process training program based on the abilities and challenges of your patient or client. You literally have hundreds of choices. This gives you just a small sample to preview. We'll also show you how after each activity, the user is asked to rate how difficult the activity is, and it also graphs the scores. You'll also see as you watch this demonstration that I made some mistakes. Some of these are really easy, and some of them are a lot more complicated. So this is a real-life example that you see with my errors as well as what I got right. Here we go.
You will hear a series of different noises and sounds. Your task is to press the button when you hear a specific sound. The therapist will say which sound to listen for at the start of the task. Listen carefully to the series of sounds. You are to press the button each time you hear the high tone, like this. Get ready. Begin.
Now you can see after every activity, the user is asked to rate how hard they had to work to do that activity. Now this was a pretty easy one for me, so I'm going to indicate that this was 1, real easy. And I was pretty focused on doing this task, so I'm going to rate that pretty high as well. After every activity, the clinician also sees a chart that tells him or her what the scoring was on the percentage of correct responses. And it also gives the clinician a history of how well the client did on that particular activity. So you can see that I've done this activity several times, and I finally managed to get the first 3 answers correct.
You will hear a series of numbers. Your task is to press the button when you hear either of 2 specific numbers.
Listen carefully as I read a list of numbers. You are to press the button each time you hear the numbers 0 or 6. Ready? Begin. 3, 0, 6, 5, 3, 7, 0.
You will see a series of slides. Each slide will have one number between 1 and 30. Your task is to press the button each time the number that appears is a multiple of 3. For example, if the number 9 appeared, you would press the button because 9 is a multiple of 3. You will hear a series of animal sounds. In addition, you will also hear or see distractions in the background. Try to ignore those distractions. Your task is to press the button when you hear the sound of a specific animal. Try to ignore the background distractions and focus on the animal noises. The therapist will say which specific animal to listen for at the start of the task. Listen carefully to the series of animal sounds. You are to press the button each time you hear the sheep's baa, like this. Get ready. Begin. You will hear a series of numbers read aloud by a therapist. In addition, you will also hear or see distractions in the background. Try to ignore those distractions. Your task is to press the button when you hear the therapist say two numbers in a row that are in descending order. That is, press the button when you hear a number that is one less than the number before it. For example, if you heard 3 followed by 2, or 6 followed by 5, you would press the button.
4,
Taking a look
3,
at traffic around the
7,
region,
5,
an accident
5,
has been reported
4,
on Interstate
2,
77 eastbound
6,
near the 15th
7,
Avenue on-ramp.
6,
2 lanes
0.
have been closed.
In this case, you can see that this exercise was really harder. So I had to think a lot more, but I was still pretty motivated to do the activity. But I did pretty well. I got my 3 answers correct, so I was really paying attention.
You will see a series of slides. On each slide, you will see a comparison of 2 numbers in the center of the screen. In addition, you will also hear or see distractions in the background. Try to ignore these distractions. Your task is to press the button each time the number statement is true. Let's try a few together first. This slide shows that 2 is less than 1, so you would not press the button because this is not true. You will hear a series of numbers. Your task is to say the numbers out loud in reverse order. That is, starting with the last number you heard and ending with the first number. For example, if you heard the numbers 12, 31, 94, 18, you would rearrange those numbers in reverse and say, out loud, 18, 94, 31, 12. Remember to say the numbers out loud in reverse order. Get ready. Begin.
4, 14, 9.
9, 14, 4.
26, 15, 5.
5, 15, 26.
You will hear a series of sentences. Listen carefully to each sentence. Your task is to say back the words of the sentence by the word length, starting with the word with the least number of letters and ending with the word with the greatest number of letters. If several words have the same number of letters, you will arrange those words by alphabetical order. The goal of this task is to practice focusing your attention and holding on to information in your mind. You should work as quickly as you can without making mistakes. Let's practice a couple together first. Here's an example. If the sentence is, show him the garden, you will rearrange the words by their word length like this. Him, the, show, garden. Remember that since him and the both contain 3 letters, you will arrange those 2 by alphabetical order.
The clock stopped ticking.
The clock ticking stopped.
Leave me alone, please.
Me alone, leave, please.
Country music is fun.
Is fun music country? Well, this one was the hardest one that I've done so far, so I'm going to say this was 9. But I was still pretty focused.
You will hear a series of words. You will hear the words happy or sad, spoken with either a happy or sad voice. Your task is to press the button each time the voice matches the actual word. For example, if you hear the word happy spoken with a happy voice, then you would press the button because they match. However, if you heard the word happy spoken with a sad voice, then you would not press the button. Let's try a few together first. Listen carefully. Sad. The word sad was spoken with a sad voice, so you would press the button because they match. Listen again. Sad. The word sad was spoken with a happy voice, so you would not press the button because they do not match.
Happy.
Sad. Sad. Happy. Sad. Happy.
Happy.
Sad. Happy.
That one was really harder for me. I really had to think quite a bit on that one. And I kind of spaced out a few times. And you can see, I really didn't do too well on that. I only got 2 answers correct.
You will see a series of slides. On each slide, you will see the word above or below. The word itself will appear either above the center line or below the center line. Your task is to press the buzzer each time the position of the word matches the actual word. For example, if the word above appears above the center line, you would press the buzzer because they match. However, if the word below appeared above the center line, you would not press the buzzer because they do not match. Let's try a few together first. The word above appears above the center line, so you would press the buzzer because they match. You will hear a series of words. You will hear the words adult or child spoken by either a child or an adult. In addition, you will occasionally hear the word switch. This task is designed to help practice your ability to shift your attention between tasks. You are to shift between pressing the button either when the actual word matches the speaker's voice or when the actual word does not match the speaker's voice. Let's try a few together first. You will begin by pressing the button when the actual word matches the speaker's voice. Listen carefully.
Adult.
The word adult was spoken by an adult, so you would press the button because they match. Listen again.
Adult.
The word adult was spoken by a child, so you would not press the button because they do not match. When you hear the word switch, you are to switch between pressing the button when the actual word matches the speaker's voice and when the actual word does not match the speaker's voice. Now you will press the button when the actual word does not match the speaker's voice. Listen carefully.
Child.
The word child was spoken by an adult, so you would press the button because they do not match.
Adult.
Adult.
Child.
Adult. child,
child,
adult, adult,
adult, child,
adult, adult, child,
child,
adult,
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 child, child,
adult,
child.
You will see a series of slides. On each slide, you will see the word solid or hollow. The word itself will appear either with solid letters or with hollow letters. In addition, you will occasionally see a slide that says switch. This task is designed to help practice your ability to shift your attention between tasks. You are to shift between pressing the buzzer either when the actual word matches the letters or when the actual word does not match the letters. Let's try a few together first. You will begin by pressing the buzzer when the actual word matches the letters. Here, the word is solid and it appears with solid letters, so you would press the buzzer because they match. This time, the word is solid and it appears with hollow letters, so you would not press the buzzer because they do not match.
That one was really, really hard for me. I did really well until I had to switch. And then I totally got confused. And that's a sample of some of the activities that you'll find on the App 3 program.